This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, this is Alex and this is the Ramble, and we go until midnight tonight. And a happy Wednesday to you as we start another couple of days of programming here of the Ramble on GabNet. We have a Monday show called The Pop-Up, and we're on for 4 days a week one way or another. And we just want to say hello to you. How are you? I'm trying to wake up tonight. That's why I'm drinking the coffee. Then I drink the coffee, and then I can't go to sleep. So, you know, it's, I live a rough life, okay? Anyway, it's time, you know, once every week we kind of allow Phil Meyer on the program. And let me see here. Let me get him here. Is that you? Are you there?
I am here.
Yes. And much like Facebook has allowed Trump back on Facebook, we've allowed Phil back on this program. So.
Oh, I didn't know I was off.
Oh, now you're at the edge of your screen. See how your screen is? You moved your camera, and now you aren't completely covered by your green screen.
Oh, okay.
You see, if you move over, see, you gotta see, because if I do it here, I always, before I go on, I check my.
I did.
I just move your camera. Well, you can do it that way too. You know.
Yeah. Something moved.
No, your camera moved. You touched your camera and it moved, and it changed its thing.
It changed its position.
Yeah. So anyway,
how you doing?
No, I'm tired. I'm tired tonight. I don't know why. I've been tired the last couple of days. It's kind of the weather. I think it's kind of getting to me, you know.
Are you getting enough iron? And is your dog getting enough cheese?
Wait a minute. Why does it say Will Durst? I took that off of there. I've got you as Will Durst, okay?
Well, you know,
see, something always goes wrong on Monday because I did an interview with Durst the other day, and
that's great. I'm glad you did.
You know, and let me just put Meyer in here, and then we can change that. Here we go, folks. You see how easy that is?
Yeah. You want to let some out of the bag, or do you want to save it for the interview? How is Will Durst doing?
Will's, you know, so-so. Yeah. You know, I mean, he's got a problem with Medicare, and it's just, you know, like they only will give him so much therapy a year, and he used up all his therapy, and so he can't have therapy until February again. So.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I have a torn meniscus.
Oh, I have one. I had one.
Pardon me?
I had one.
Oh yeah, and it hurts.
Yeah.
It's not getting in the joint, but you know, it's swollen.
Okay,
it's
two things you got to do. Number one, make sure you don't put a lot of stress on that. I used to find that when I got into bed, I went down on this knee, and every time I did, man, I just threw the meniscus out again. And I got it by lying down. I'm sitting on the floor. And then I guess I twisted my leg wrong, and all of a sudden, and so I went to a physical therapist who worked out stuff with me, but ultimately this took care of it for me.
Really?
Voltaren.
Voltaren, the thing they advertise on TV.
Yeah, put Voltaren on there, and it'll help a great deal. You know?
Okay, I've used Tiger Balm, some patches.
We don't need no stinking rotten patches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but
no, just try this. This is, I'll tell you what happened. This used to be prescription when I first had my torn meniscus, but I had a doctor who they sent me over to their doctor at this place, a physical therapist, and they said you should use this stuff. right here.
Okay, I'll get some.
You know, and now it's not prescription anymore. It's
No,
over the
I
counter.
understand.
Yeah.
Well, even if it was, all I have to do is walk into a CVS, take it, and leave. You know.
And if you go to Costco, they got these big, huge tubes of it.
Okay.
Two of them plus a little tinier one to use. So, you know,
good.
I use it for my arthritis, and but I don't. The torn meniscus, if you're just careful about it, will, I think in my case it repaired itself. You know.
Well, I believe it can repair itself because it's the medial meniscus, which is the one on the inside, and that one can be repaired through.
That was what mine
therapy.
was. Yeah, mine was remedial. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I can't remember what kind of exercises he had me do. That I can't remember. So.
Well, they supposedly do them that strengthen your tuchus, your quad, and your hamstring.
Yeah, well, if you got insurance, just go do some physical therapy. That'll help it.
Yeah. Well, I got Kaiser. You know,
well, forget that then. You know, like Larry Bowles Brown used to say, Kaiser, it's
doctor-assisted suicide.
Doctor-assisted suicide. Yeah, yeah. So.
Well, talking about, I don't know, talking about suicide.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that meteorologist in New York who works for Fox News, Adam Klotz? He was coming home from the football game, I guess, on Saturday. Was it Saturday or Sunday? And he's on the subway at 1:30 in the morning. And there was...
That's not a good idea, but go ahead.
No, it wasn't. But there were other people on the car. A lot of people were coming home because of the football game. They went out to bars. And
so it's kind of safe when you're after a game. It's pretty safe.
Yeah. Well, what happened was there was like several 15, 16-year-olds, and they were hassling some old man. And they actually took a Bic lighter and they tried to set his hair on fire. So this meteorologist, this young guy, he says to these guys, leave him alone. And they turned on him. And they kicked him down and beat him and bruised his chest and his leg and his eyes. I saw him on Monday on the sofa. They interviewed him, and I guess he had made the front page of the New York Post. Is it?
Yeah.
Just for saying, hey, leave that guy alone, and that's what happened.
Well, he was from Fox, so I've known.
Yeah.
No, that's terrible. But that could have happened in any city in the United States. These subways are not a good place to go late at night. I don't even use them anyway because COVID's back.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. Well, COVID will never leave us.
Yeah, but it's come back with a vengeance lately. So
yeah,
want to steer
new RSV or whatever it is.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I'm sure Alan will tell us.
I'm sure he will. But
so,
I mean that's sad when that happens. Something like that happens. But
yeah.
I
was also watching some YouTube thing, and they were talking about what happens after a person dies. And it's not so much to the person, but what happens to his friends and relatives afterwards. And they get back to their normal life within a couple of they're sad the day or two, but within a few weeks they kind of just get on with life. And
well, of course, why not?
Yeah.
My father used to say, for me, when I'm gone, if you want to, mourn a couple of days, but then get on with your life, because life is for the living.
Yeah.
Exactly. And some people are obsessed by the death of, it doesn't even have to be a tragic death, just by the death of somebody like a parent, and then they just mourn it for years, and that's not what that parent would have wanted, and that's not what life is about. Part of life is dying. I mean, I hate to be that philosophical about it, because every morning I wake up with a great fear of death.
If you wake up, you beat it.
Yeah, I beat it that day. But, I'm wondering what's going to get me now. You know, I mean, something's going to get me. And I'm facing the time of my life where that's a possibility, and I have no idea what goes on after death. And yes, I know there's a God. Okay, fine.
You know,
Great.
have you ever talked to anybody that died and came back?
Every comedian who ever went on stage.
Yeah, that's true.
Have I ever talked to anybody who died and came back? No, not really.
You know, there's no proof. I would say that enough people have died and haven't reconnected with the living that there is no afterlife.
Listen, I have, you know, when I think about it, you know, and I think about this a lot, and I look back on my life, and I say, it's like my whole life is like a dream. You know, I mean, it's gone on. Here I am now, I'm 83, and it just, you know, I had all these things that happened in my life, but it's kind of almost like maybe it didn't happen. Maybe this is some kind of weird existence that I really don't know, you know?
Yeah.
And
Or you're thinking from like another dimension kind of thing, or
I'm thinking that, you know, the life that I've led is a life that I've led, but it just seems very strange to me that it even happened. You know, I mean, there was something here before I was born,
right?
and there's going to be something here after I die. And when I think about what was like before I was born, I have no idea. I wasn't alive at that time. But all of a sudden, I'm alive. I mean, maybe I came from somewhere else. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, you look at the news reports. I know, you know, some of the events that happened prior to my birth, and I just don't know the ones that are going to happen after, you know?
Yeah, but maybe, I mean, could it well be that when you die, this whole world dies with you?
Well, it does for us.
You know, but it dies with you. And, you know, that it no longer exists after we die.
Yeah, from our perspective.
Yeah, but it no longer exists. And who knows? You know, I mean, I just don't understand it totally. I don't know what to expect. I expect that there could be some surprises, you know, having to do with, I mean, if I believe in the science that is out there, there are many dimensions, you know, and do we continue to exist in those other dimensions? And am I even aware that I'm in those other dimensions? It's all, forget it. I don't want to get into it.
Well, you know,
You're going to depress me.
Yeah, they recently picked up radio waves that came from a very distant place. Did you hear that the news report?
No.
Yeah, there was some sort of radio wave that they think had to be generated by some sort of being in a very far outer space.
I never heard that story. Never heard that.
Okay, yeah, it was last week. I didn't write
You
it down.
probably heard it on Fox.
No, actually, I didn't. But it was interesting that, you know, they're picking up radio waves from another galaxy, and they said that it was you know, far out there. So, you know, you ask yourself, well, how are we just the people on this planet, and that there isn't life anywhere else?
There are two ways of thinking about it. I agree with you. It's pretty impossible to think that we're the only life in the universe. Okay, that's probably a very far out theory that we're the only life in the universe. But could it well be that this is in nature a test planet to see what will happen if life is created on one of these billions of planets that are out there, and then see what it does, and that we have a rather important mission here, and we're not living up to it.
Yeah, but that presupposes that there's something out there that set this experiment up. And I'm not sure I believe that
there's a thing called nature.
Yeah.
And there's a thing called evolution, and there are all these other things, and it could be all part of that, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that the seed was planted here to see what would happen. And maybe we're meant to populate the stars. That could well be our job here.
And that might be Elon Musk's mission to get us to another planet.
But I don't know, and I'm not sure of that, and I'm never going to find out.
No, you don't know.
You're not going to find out.
Old Elon, he just may say, "Hey, it's time. We're going to Mars."
Yeah.
We've put rovers on the planet, on Mars.
Like I may not live past next Tuesday because I'm going back to my urologist for my.
What do you expect?
They does all the testing and everything. It's. He told me to come back after 9 months, and he'll do another PSA. My other doctor, the one that did the seeds, told me, he said, if you've gone this long without it coming back, it's not coming back.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
I always hate getting those PSA tests. It always has been
Well, when it came back detectable, because I don't have a prostate, that's when they put me through 7 more weeks of radiation. But there's other things they can do. Even if it comes back, they can give you a hormone.
By the way, you know how they make a hormone?
Don't pay her?
That's right. You got it. That's the joke.
Bada boom. So, anyway, your friend Pence and Trump and Biden are getting these document things, and
well, let's be a little more. Put this all in perspective, okay? You have to separate out Trump's situation because 300 documents, 25 of which were top secret, and then the fact that he wouldn't let them just come and get them, they had to.
But that's not where I'm going with this.
Well, wait a minute. Let me finish.
Okay.
Finish. To in any way lump him in with these other two guys, who may have just his staff packed up his stuff and this stuff was in there, is different, and the fact that they immediately turned the stuff over as soon as they found
they saw what they did to Trump, but what happens is maybe Trump, just because he's kind of an asshole, the documents.
You're even giving us the possibility that he's kind of an asshole.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So what happens is
this is a step forward for you, Phil. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, there is. Let's say we take these 3 guys, and all 3 of them moved out of either Washington. Somebody packed up their stuff. The stuff arrives. Trump and Pence and Biden. Chances are they didn't know that these things were mixed in with other boxes.
Trump knew what he was taking.
Look, let's take
because when
granted.
you take top secret documents, as many as he did, I bet you $1 to a donut he was planning on selling those if he could.
Well, I'm not going to tell you that I know for a fact that the stuff that was in Biden's garage had price tags on it for the garage sale.
Yeah, right.
But
right.
but so what I was getting around to was, my thought was, what is wrong with the system that packs these guys up and gets them out of there? Forget Trump, maybe just Pence and Biden. If you're willing to believe that there was no nefarious,
I don't think there was anything nefarious about Biden. I think there was far less nefarious about Pence. I think
Pence.
I think Pence is an honest guy. I may not like him, but he's an honest guy.
Even Trump said, "Hey, leave the guy alone. He didn't do anything. He's a good guy."
Yeah, I think that what happened here is that in the midst of just getting everything out of the White House, these things got packed in with the stuff that went to Delaware, for instance.
I have heard at one time that when they were talking about the transition from one president to another, and how many hours it takes them just to pack everything up, get them out, get the new carpets in, make the changes that they want.
While they're doing the inauguration.
Right, exactly.
They're changing the
hours.
They're changing the curtains, the rugs, the furniture,
everything. Right. It's a few hours. Now, what happens is it's crazy. And now we're looking at 3 people that have had an issue with documents that probably.
Well, what they're doing is Obama and Clinton and Bush have all said, "Come
They
look
had
at
the
my
same problem.
come look at my place and see if you find anything."
Well, I heard a report that Obama had some things stored in an old furniture store for a while. That Clinton had some stuff in his sock drawer, tapes. Then there was
Well, tapes aren't top
yeah.
secret.
Well, these
or
are things that they wanted back, and Bush also had some issue with things that were stored.
Yeah, but they probably, as soon as they found that they had them and they asked for them, they turned them over.
Not necessarily, but
What do you
it
mean,
did
not necessarily?
eventually
They
get
probably
turned
did.
over.
The problem with Trump was he refused to turn them over.
But I'm looking at the bigger picture, and what I'm saying
looking
is,
at the bigger picture.
I think there's a problem with the process.
I think
the process
there's something
of changing the guard, so to speak. I think there's a problem with the process, and that's what has to be looked at.
Well, I think every future president, especially like Biden this time, when he's no longer president and he has to leave, is going to make sure that none of those classified documents come with him,
or he'll declassify them before he
and the people. No, he doesn't. He can't declassify them.
I was under the impression that the president can declassify anything.
No.
Now, so the ones that Trump took,
according to Josh, who knows this kind of stuff, he says it's not that easy. You can't just wave your hand and go, this top secret document is
everything in the room.
Yeah, right.
Well, do you think that Trump knows who killed Kennedy? And those are some of the docs that he took?
No. These were documents that were generated during his time in office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he felt that they were his to take?
I think, to be honest with you, Phil, and I believe this with all my heart and soul, even though and I admit that I don't like the guy, I think Trump was planning on selling them. I really do. I think Trump was thinking he could get some kind of favors for these, especially the top secret documents.
Well,
and he was very cozy. He was very cozy with the Russians. There's no question about that. And I'm sure he was thinking, hey, maybe I can sell this stuff.
The only thing that gives me pause is that early on in his administration, in Trump's administration, he shared some information, some intelligence with the Russians to help them.
Which he wasn't supposed to.
He wasn't supposed to. Yeah. So that gave me pause.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that I believe he's a patriot, and that.
I don't think he's a patriot at all. I don't think he's a patriot at all.
Yeah.
I think he has no sense of loyalty to this country. Otherwise, he wouldn't have tried to literally have an insurrection.
Well, there's
that's not loving your country.
I don't think he had an insurrection. I think other people did, but I don't think he was the cause of it.
Well, I'd say he'd had a massive insurrection, but I hear he has a small penis, and
he doesn't have a Porsche. Okay, one of the last and final topics on a lighter sense.
What's the joke about Porsche? I think it's a Corvette that Biden owns.
Oh, no, that's Biden, but usually guys with small penises buy Porsches.
Porsches. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, I posted something on Facebook. I got a opportunity to meet Peyton Manning last week in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And so they took my picture, the meet and greet. And so I posted it on Facebook.
Why, was he paid to go to the rug convention?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an interesting guy, and he's involved with some of the charities that we support, like Tunnel to Towers.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I had a nice conversation with some people I know, and then I got to meet him because of my work with that. And so I posted it there on Facebook, and several people put these emojis. Some of them a thumbs up. Well, I understand what thumbs up is. Some of them is a happy face. I understand what a happy face is, right? Some of them have this weird little red line and with like a tongue sticking out or something. What is that?
That means death or something. I don't know.
No,
That sounds like a dead emoji to me.
Well, it might be, but no, I know the hearts, but there are several of these emojis. I have no idea what they mean. And is there some sort of translation to emojis to figure out what they are?
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, yeah. Some of these, it's like maybe it's a sarcastic emoji or,
Yeah, let me see here. Hold on a second.
Oh, and there was one other thing. You had read a post that somebody put on your Facebook page about me, and the only thing I have to say is that the smallest dog has the loudest bark.
What is that supposed to mean?
Like a little Chihuahua dog, they're the loudest, they bark the loudest. Well, this guy barks on your page, but he's the smallest dog. Smallest dog has the loudest bark.
Well, hold on a second. Emojis? How about this? Let's see here.
All right, let's see. I'd have to look at it on the YouTube feed to see it.
This is avatars. Let me see here. Is this an emoji?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, no, that's a filter, isn't it?
I don't know. What is this? This should go.
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. It showed up on the thing. Yeah. So that looks like. Well, I guess you're Saint Bennett. Oh. So now you're playing with the filters. What are you, Ray Renati?
What's up, Doc?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
There you go.
You got 42 people watching?
What?
42.
Really? They must be idiots. I don't know.
Yeah. I have no idea why.
Okay, well, enough of that. I hate that. Don't do that, folks.
No.
I thought there were some emojis there, but there weren't.
Oh.
So.
No, those things are beyond my pay grade.
I'll be on your pay grade. Okay. Oh, by the way, thank you for waiting around after the. I had to reboot my Zoom.
I figured
it froze. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that's usually what happens.
If I could figure out how to unfreeze it when it freezes, I would do it. But
Yeah.
Let me see here. Should we let some people in here?
Sure. I think it's that time.
Is it that time? Okay. Yeah. Let me see here.
2 minutes past the hour.
First of all, let's do this. There we go. Get rid of that. And then we will go to, let's see, Jeff Stein, Kevin, and Brian Neary. Okay.
I figured it froze.
Oops. Oh,
no, they're there.
Oh, there. Nope.
There they are.
Jeff, turn down your audio.
Sure, I think it's that time.
Oh, now we know how much of a delay you have.
Oh, well, he suddenly signed off there.
Yeah, when Jeff comes over for lunch, would you show him how to kill the browser and not the Zoom?
He did, but they didn't come back here, so I couldn't give him
did you go out for lunch?
Yes, absolutely.
Where'd you go?
Well, up the street. There's a place called Maison Harlem.
Tell us about your wonderful lunch date, or you want Jeff to do that?
There was nothing. It was lunch.
Well,
don't get personal about what I eat. Maybe I don't want to tell you. Anyway, hello, Brian. How are you? And hello to Kevin.
Pinched nerve still.
You still have a pinched nerve? You have a pinched.
It's getting a little better.
You have a pinched nerve. He has a torn meniscus.
Yeah.
This is wonderful.
Well, I saw a number of things on YouTube about torn meniscus, and they say you can PT it and improve it. Although I don't want to stop going to the gym, so I think I'm going to injure it every 3 days a week, and then.
Well,
PT
I would stay away from using anything that has to do with your legs, like
I've been deadlifting. I just bought for home.
That's not good. That's not good.
I got a 7-foot Olympic weight 45-pound barbell
Good. That'll be good for your meniscus. Say
Yeah, it's
goodbye
in the
to your
middle of my living
meniscus
room
forever.
with some bumper weights, rubber, the weights you can drop, but I can't do that here. I'm on the third floor.
Well, what I would do is I really wouldn't do any of that.
Yeah, I'm going to be careful with squats.
Yeah, but what are we going to do about our friend here, Brian, who's got a pinched nerve?
Well, you should see a chiropractor.
No.
Okay. Chiropractor, physical therapy, acupuncture. I have a list.
Yeah,
Ice,
well, to
ice,
begin
ice,
with,
ice.
completely scratch off chiropractor. Okay, chiropractors.
Your wife Marjorie seems to think that
She has
chiropractors-
wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars over the year on chiropractors.
Me too.
Yeah,
Just need ice.
ice is good too.
Ice is good. That's one thing. The meniscus, what I found was I found this stuff.
Voltaren?
Yeah, it really helped. Really helped.
I'm going to get some.
And if it started to hurt, I just put the Voltaren on it, and it helped. Doesn't help my arthritis, although it says arthritis pain, but it doesn't help with the arthritis as much as
What's the nerve that goes down through the leg that you had? Sciatica.
sciatic.
Do you still, Alex, have that issue?
I never had sciatic nerve problem.
Yeah.
He's on you right
Yes,
now.
you did.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You just don't remember.
No, I didn't. I don't
I
think.
remember your leg. My
Yeah.
aunt had that. That was bad.
What?
My aunt who died, she had that. My aunt Fran. The one
Would she
remember-
die from a
It killed
torn?
her.
Oh, she
No,
died from
remember
a torn
the one you made me
meniscus.
cry. She had the sciatica when that thing flared up. She had a hard time walking. I remember that.
Sciatica. Yeah, sciatica
Yes,
can be pretty terrible.
Yeah, when she
you
had
know.
it bad, she just stay in her room.
I mean, most times it's
for
pretty
that, too.
minor. What'd you say, Kevin?
I said ice works for that too. I used to have that from truck driving. The
Yeah.
neck and the sciatica was hell for driving truck because you're always bouncing down the road.
What? How bad? How bad was your? Like you have a back condition, leg condition, whatever. How much was that exacerbated by driving trucks all those years?
Oh, it didn't bother it at all. From what that was a softball injury in my ankle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then it got exacerbated by bad surgeries.
Hey, Kevin, can I ask him a question, Alex? When you drive, when me and my brother used to, I don't drive, but when we used to drive, I used to get uncomfortable in the car. Then do you put a pillow in your back sometimes to give a cushion when you're going like a long way?
No, my seat had an air seat. It had an air cushion, and you could push a button, and it would push. It had a cushion in the
Oh,
back.
so you kind of like even your neck in it? Because I would imagine that's kind
No,
of
not in the neck. No,
No,
it
but
was a
if
high
you-
back seat.
Oh,
We
wow.
call them captain's chairs, and it was a high back seat, and you could adjust the head. And then there was a big balloon in the back of the seat. You can push up, blow up the balloon in the seat and adjust your back so that you could have the right position. And it was an
That's
air
tough.
seat, rode on an air seat.
Do you?
Well, I
cramp
thought
up
I had balloons on my seat in my car, and then I found out it was hemorrhoids. So
Yeah. Yeah, you get those too.
Yeah.
It was, the neck and the back take a beating in the truck, and I got it all the time. But I was, when I went to physical therapy, they would take a Dixie cup, frozen Dixie cup, and come in, and they would melt it on my back until it was done.
Oh, you know what he
All
did?
the way down until it was done, which was about 20 minutes or so, and then they'd put the electrodes on it. The electrical stimulation, and then they'd give me a map and say, okay, this is where you're walking, and you'd walk around the neighborhood and come back and say, okay, see you next week.
You're right about the ice, because when I did my torn meniscus, the last part of every thing that I did was they put an ice pack on my knee and then just let me stay there for 15, 20 minutes.
Because what happens when you twist your neck like that,
Yeah.
you usually have internal bleeding. And internal bleeding, you're tearing a muscle. And you get a little bit of internal bleeding, and if you put heat on it, you're going to exacerbate the bleeding because
Yeah.
your blood
Yeah.
and it starts getting coagulating in there and it gets bigger. So it gets even worse. But if you put ice on it, it'll slow down the bleeding, and it slows down.
Well, when I would come home, I would put ice packs on my knee, and
Yeah.
I kept doing ice packs on my knee for quite a while until
For the
it went
inflammation?
away. Yeah, for the inflammation. Yeah. Hello, Jeff.
20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. 20 minutes on.
Yeah, you're fine. I don't hear any of our show in back of you. We had lunch yesterday. Very nice lunch.
You put ice on it.
No. You're still getting the audio. Just
Jeff?
close your browser. Just close your browser.
No. Wait a minute. He doesn't understand the difference. You're going to see two tabs at the top of your browser. One is going to say GabNet or Zoom. One's going to say Zoom, and the other's going to say GabNet. The one that says GabNet, click on the little X, and it'll
Get
stop
rid of it. Then you get rid of the. You get rid of
So you'll see two tabs across
the one that
top.
says GabNet, not the one that says Zoom. The one that says GabNet.
Right.
And you just click on the X,
and it makes it go away, but it doesn't kill you from Zoom.
Yeah.
Phil, you're a great guy. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine.
I hope it works.
So we had a very nice lunch yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
I really like having lunch
I asked
with
Alex
Jeff
where you
and-
guys
and
went,
Pamela.
and, he wasn't giving it up.
I said
He
Maison,
secret place.
Harlem.
Yeah. Yeah. What
Yeah.
was that? The park?
No, it's up on 129th Street and
Yeah.
St. Nicholas. You know where that is?
Yeah.
No.
He's Santa Claus. We got him sitting over there in the corner of the
No,
Zoom
St. Nicholas. Yeah. So anyway, so we went up there and we had lunch, and it was a really nice lunch. And I I really enjoy Pamela. She's a delight, and it just I look forward to it when we do it, like once every 5 years, So, but I really look forward to it. But you're going down to Florida. When are you going down to Florida?
Yeah, as soon as I can. We have a little job that we're doing in the bathroom. And
Oh, I did a job in the bathroom today.
yeah, well, it's the whole part of the house. But anyway, until they finish it, and everything was going to be done, but one of the guys who do the work got sick. So we got to wait
So, all right.
Wait until he feels better, I guess.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, I would wait forever to go to Florida, but that's you. You like it down there.
Where in Florida would you be going?
I like Fort Lauderdale, a little bit north
okay.
of that.
Which is, whenever I've been to Fort Lauderdale, which is right outside of Miami,
Yeah, a little bit.
Half hour.
Yeah. I've enjoyed Fort Lauderdale. It's okay.
Yeah, and we're going to be more north
Yeah.
of the Fort Lauderdale city. So
Yeah. So, anyway, you got a lot of shootings out your way, by the way, Phil.
Yeah, that was one of my topics. Now, some guy on mushrooms shot up his place of employment down in Half Moon Bay.
How do you know he was on mushrooms?
That was the name of the place. It was a mushroom farm.
Oh, it was a mushroom farm.
Oh, he wasn't on.
And and the other guy, he didn't like the dance studio. He wanted his money back, I guess. I think his wife was banging the dance instructor.
None of these things are funny, Phil, because those two incidents are really quite pathetic and terrible.
Yeah, but they both happened on the Lunar New Year. Everybody's yelling "Gung Hei Fa Choi," Lunar New
They were
Year.
both elderly Asian men,
Right. And
which is strange.
I like the fact they're holding up the end. They're holding up for age people with age. Now we can be suspected of
Yeah.
You hear what happened at the Walmart, though? There was a Walmart. I think it was out in the valley. I'm not exactly sure where it was, but it was a former employee. And instead of saying, thank you for coming to Walmart, he said up against the wall. And boom. The son.
How is he making jokes out of this stuff?
The son of
they're
the
not.
second
They're purely not funny.
Wait a minute. The son of the owner of the second dance studio, I guess the shooter who went into the first dance studio, the son saw his gun and tackled him.
Yeah, we've seen that on TV over and over and over and over.
Yeah. And there was one other shooting that I think it took place in Texas. There was a guy in a taqueria, and he's sitting there, and some dude comes in with a plastic gun, but he didn't know it was a plastic gun, and he started robbing everybody in the taqueria. And so as he walked by this one concealed carry shooter guy,
this story, by the way, was several weeks ago. But go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, he pulls out his gun. Well, and he shoots the guy 4 times. Then the guy goes down to the floor. He shoots him 4 more times. Then he walks up to the guy and he shoots him in the head. The cop said, it was self-defense. I said to somebody on Facebook, another cop, I said, if that happened in California, that guy would.
Look. If he shot him that many times, and I don't think the story was that he shot him that many times, because the story
he did 9 times.
Story's a couple of weeks old,
right?
And I think it was overkill. All right.
Yeah.
If he shot him and he was injured and he was down on the floor, then you don't shoot him again
if he's
and
no
again
longer a threat.
and again. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Once he's incapacitated, geez.
Yeah. So and anyway, this patron left the taqueria, and I think the cops were looking for him for a long time. I'm not sure if he turned himself in, but I don't think they were going to prosecute him. Now that's Texas. You think if that was California, even if he exposed his weapon,
you know the story, don't you, Charlie?
Charlie?
No, I've never heard this.
Yeah, okay.
It was in Houston.
I don't know where it happened. I remember, but that was a couple of weeks ago, so I don't remember it now. And it was just one shooting. It was one shooting. It shouldn't make the news that much.
Well,
we're so jaded now. See, in Houston, when I worked there, I said to my news guy, I said there was a shooting out near me, blah 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 blah, in a bar or something, that I heard about in the neighborhood. I said, why didn't we report it? He says, oh, a single shooting we don't report anymore. He said this town is so. I mean, literally on a Saturday night there were dozens of homicides because Texas is a open carry. You can actually, everybody was wearing guns on a holster. They'd go into a bar, they'd all get drunk, and they'd start shooting at each other.
Well, I don't think open carry is smart. I like the idea that people are vetted, and they're trained, and when they get a concealed weapons permit.
Yeah, but that's not the way they feel in Texas.
Well, actually,
they had a very stupid law there that it was against.
Arizona has the same thing.
That it was against the law you could take a gun and take it from one location to another, but you couldn't just carry it in a car. Well, you can only take it from one location to another. So anytime you've got in the car, where are you going? From one location to another. And that's Charlie, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, but that law was overridden by the new law where there's no restrictions at all on guns. You can walk in the store, buy a gun right now. There's no waiting period. There's no background check. No nothing in Texas.
I'm not 100% sure that's correct.
I live in fucking Texas. I know.
Have you ever gone into a gun store and tried to get one?
That was just passed like a year ago. That's how I know that. The last legislative session, they did that. It completely did away with all back. It's completely free, open carry. Anybody can carry a gun at any. You don't even have to be an adult. There was an 18-year-old to walk.
I don't think you're right.
Well, but you're saying you don't think he's right. He lives in Texas.
He may live in Texas, but he's not as aware.
Well, somebody else call us from Texas.
He's a very aware person.
I'll just drink ahead. I'll just drink.
Yeah, drink ahead of time because you're going to have to eventually anyway.
The reason I know is I was pissed off when they did it. But remember, Phil's solution is give everybody a gun.
That's right.
Give everybody a gun and bullets. That's his solution.
Yeah. Well, at least one bullet.
You want me to have
Barney
guns
fight.
off of it?
I mean,
I'm not saying you're crazy, Phil, but to give everybody a gun. I don't know if
anybody
I know I would want to have a gun.
Yeah, well, not everybody. I mean, there are some people that aren't
No, Phil, that we just had these shootings, and when I commented about the shootings, all your comment is that the other people didn't have guns. So
Well,
you
that's
told
true.
me those migrant workers who are out on the farm, they're supposed to be loaded in case one of their friends go crazy, they can shoot them.
Well, no, they have to be.
That's
They
what
have
would
to be
have
in
to have
imminent
been done.
danger of
No,
bodily
Phil.
harm.
Listen,
Phil,
will you,
that's what would have had to
will
be
you
done
listen to Brian,
fix
please,
the
Phil?
solution.
Go
The
ahead.
solution was that everybody needs a gun, so if somebody goes crazy and starts shooting up the place like a migrant farm, then they have
Will you let
occurred to
him
me-
finish, Phil?
Yes,
when they
he's putting
grab
words in my mouth that aren't true.
Phil, don't interrupt him. Let him finish what he's saying. Go ahead.
I'm
Brian.
done. Go ahead, Phil.
Okay. He was putting words in my mouth that weren't true.
Oh, you're great.
I would never have thought of a migrant farm. It just wouldn't occur to me.
Oh, okay. So now
say
you're
that
going to have
you would
special
arm these
places. Only the places that you think that would have a gun. So migrant farms won't have guns, but schools will.
Yeah.
What about libraries? What about the gas
wait a minute.
station?
How about 6-year-olds who bring them to school and shoot their teachers?
6-year-olds bring them to school, they get reported, and then the parents don't do anything about it.
Do you notice
Yeah, that's a
Marjorie
bad
keeps
thing. You know,
Marjorie
when the parents-
keeps, can I talk, Phil? Come on.
All right.
Yeah, unless you want to take over the show, in which case I could go to the next room and watch some TV.
I'm signing off.
Well, according to that miscreant that posts on your page, I do take over the show.
Yes, you do. Anyway, so where was I?
Oh, you were talking
It was about the 6-year-old.
Oh, the 6-year-old. Yeah, Marjorie keeps bringing it up, and she's actually right. But she says we have heard nothing about the parents. You know, well, I mean, why aren't they like they fired the superintendent of the school today, and they're firing this person, and they're doing that and this, but nobody's gone after the parents.
Well, you know that the lady is suing now.
The teacher is suing.
We got a trial
The
attorney.
teacher is suing because that kid was reported by another kid.
Yes.
And no one did shit because it was getting towards the end of the day and everybody's going home anyway. So the kid is told to report, you see something, say something. They go to the school administration and report it.
Mm-hmm.
And the school administration does nothing. What kind of shit is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same kind of stuff that happens.
Brian?
So Phil says there's another shooting at a gas station in Oakland. He has a common thread about these that were done the last 48 hours. All the victims were unarmed. So that means that the people, the migrant farmers, should have been armed. Those 70-year-olds.
I don't know what you're talking migrant farmers.
The 70-year-olds dancing at Monterey Park on the eve of Lunar New Year, they should have been packing too.
Right.
So when they
That
tango,
I agree.
you just got to make sure when they grab and tango, they make sure they don't hit their gun by accident.
Yeah,
I agree
also,
100%.
you agree 100%. You know how
Good
stupid that
holsters
is?
are important. though.
You know something? The idea of everybody having a gun really could easily kill more people just by people suddenly starting to shoot because somebody shoots.
Well,
Okay.
I lived in Florida before they had the CCWs, and in the early '70s. And
Do you notice that
once-
Charlie's had his finger up for the
Oh.
last couple of minutes here, waiting to talk?
No, he doesn't notice that.
No, he doesn't notice it. Yes, Charlie.
Google, does Texas have a waiting period for gun law to purchase a gun? It says Texas does not have a waiting period, nor does it register firearms. All you have to do is show a government-issued ID, such as a driver's license. You must be at least 18 years of
there's no
age.
background check.
No.
Nothing. They made it.
Now, I heard this guy, Kalian Noir. I think Alex is familiar with the guy. And he lives in Texas, and he was talking about the fact that there are background checks, that there are documents that have to be filled out. And
Well, you just heard the
remember who
opposite.
Collion Noir
You're
is?
pronouncing his
He's a
name wrong, but I
spokesperson for NRA.
no, NRA.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the
He used to
actor
be on that NRA TV?
NRA TV?
Yeah, along with Dana Loesch.
There's no NRA TV anymore.
There used to be, and now
he's dead for years now.
Well, he's still a spokesperson.
Camille, no, are you talking about the actor?
No, Collion Noir. He's an attorney, a black guy, really well spoken.
That clears it up.
And
You gotta mention the color.
yeah, and he
and Zashonda for the white people. Yeah,
he was a content provider for NRA TV.
I didn't even know they had a channel.
Yeah, did you ever watch that channel? There was no content.
Yeah,
I was sad when they took it off because it was hilarious to watch.
Dana Loesch.
Yeah,
there was some hot chick that was on that too.
Well, she used to be hot.
Oh.
Now she just looks like certain parts of her body smell. Anyway, Charlie.
I was wrong. They do something called a National Instant Criminal Background Check. They do it instantaneously when you walk in. You literally can walk in, buy a gun, and walk out 5 minutes later with a gun.
As long as you don't have a criminal record, though, right? That's
if I can find the thing that Collion Noir was talking about, I'll send it to you, Charlie.
Yes, send it to all of us.
Yeah, because he worked for he worked for the NRA. Yeah, I believe him. Yeah, I believe him.
Sorry guys, I need to go.
Texas have a way.
Wait a minute, you have to go. Where are you going?
Why are you going to go register your guns?
What's your
therapy? Acupuncture.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I promised Adrian I'd draw with her tonight, so I'm gonna go draw with her right now. So
you can do open carry.
Can I ask you one thing, Brian, before you leave? Do you think that your back pain could be caused by driving back and forth a couple hours every day to load up?
No, it's my neck, but I know what this was. This was because some pillows were taken away from me, so I was trying to adjust to a different pillow. But lately, last couple of days that I've been driving, I have been hurting a little bit in the back. Yeah, so it has been. First time it's starting to affect me a little bit, maybe because of this too, but.
Yeah.
Thanks for caring, Phil.
Okay, well, have a good time, and my best to Adrian.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, don't talk any shit. I'm listening later. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Listen, he is just the biggest creep. I just hate it when he calls.
Who's that?
Brian.
Oh yeah.
He's so hard to take. He won't shut up. You know. You just keep saying, Not unlike Phil.
That little kid.
Unlike Phil, where everything that comes out of his mouth is just an absolute gem.
What about the kid he parades around for sympathy? You know?
Yeah.
Hey, look at this kid. I just borrowed her.
Yeah. Well, somebody has to call and replace Brian. Okay, give us a call quickly.
Actually, somebody to call.
You still got 41 watching.
I wonder who's watching.
I've got 41 watching. It went down a bit when you started talking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is a critical day.
Yeah. So anyway.
How's that?
Yeah. So here comes Alan. Where's Alan been tonight? I care. Anyway, what? Let me see here.
Did we tell him that we were all talking about him?
Alan, where have you been?
Well, I had a flat tire today, and I bought a new set of tires, and because they were getting low, and got a bite to eat, and now I got to go take my mother a bite to eat, but I'm not going to leave until 9. So
this is the guy with 10-ply tires.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He does.
Because that's what came on the vehicle.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me ask you. How much did it cost you to replace 4 tires?
$1,400.
What?
Well, they're big. They're truck tires. They're van tires.
Oh, all right.
And they're Michelin. I don't buy cheap tires like Phil. You know.
I got Toyos.
Oh, that's what I mean.
18 countries. They were nice.
Yeah.
And they
mine
look
are
cool.
Mine are actually made in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, not made in who knows where when you buy a Toyo.
Yeah.
Toyo for Toyota. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so but I haven't had a car so long. I don't know how much these things cost. I don't even know how much cars cost now.
Too much.
Like 70 grand.
Well, I was watching
Average.
a thing. I was watching a thing last night on YouTube about some of the electric cars that are out there, and actually with the government subsidy you get, there's one you can actually get for $22,000 now.
Oh, the Mustang?
No, it's I can't remember the name of it now.
There's a Toyota truck that's around that price.
But they're not that expensive compared to, you know. I mean, there's one car. It's like a sports car, electric sports car. It's like $250,000. But you know.
The Lucid?
No, the Lucid is it's just made. It's made by some major automobile company.
Did I miss anything important? Like,
Alan, do you know any of the gun laws in Texas?
Oh, jeez, almighty!
I read them to you off of the screen. What is?
Actually, I had dinner with a friend that's out here visiting from Texas. So yeah, I know a little bit about. Well, you probably know.
Yeah. Now, Charlie said
talk about something else.
Charlie said that they require just Insta checks, but anybody with a government ID and gets an Insta check can walk in and buy a gun.
At least 18 years of age.
That's correct.
You can walk in and walk out 5 minutes later with a gun.
Okay, the same 18-year-old that can go fight for our country.
He's not going to fight. He doesn't have to. There's no draft.
Yeah, but I mean, if he can serve in the military, I think that he deserves, or she deserves, the right to keep and bear arms.
Yeah, a lot of these mass shooters, especially at schools, they're like 18-year-olds.
No, they're younger than that, and they're on drugs, and the school system doesn't bother. The left hand doesn't tell the right hand what's going on, and when they have a kid with problems, they ignore it because they're afraid of violating.
You were
his
just
rights,
told
getting
that you
sued.
were wrong, Phil. So apologize to Charlie.
I'm not sure I was wrong, but I've always apologized to Charlie. I think Charlie.
Let's hear it.
Oh, now I'm frozen.
Hey, Charlie.
Now I'm frozen. Let me just see
You're frozen?
if I can fix this.
Because you're waiting for the apology to warm you up.
Let me see here. Stop video. Okay. Let me see here. And then let me start the video again. Start video. And does it come back? No. No, I'm completely gone now.
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah, I know you can hear
You can't
me.
do that with Phil.
Huh?
He can. He just hasn't told you yet.
Yeah, but I'm trying to, let me see here. Let me go here. I'll figure out something. Just you guys talk to each other.
So you know what? First it was Trump, then it was Biden. Now it's Pence for illegal documents. So I guess the Democrats are winning because there's only 1 and 2 of the Republicans.
Now, did you hear that they did a poll, and they said that if the election was held today, that Trump would win by 4% over Biden?
Yeah, I saw that poll. That may be an outlier, though.
Yeah. And he had quite a lead over DeSantis.
Oh, yeah, bigly, like 30 points.
Yeah. So I'm wondering whether they're putting out these polls to make people think that Trump could win, and maybe he doesn't have a chance of winning. So they're spreading fake news.
I think they ought to put out a poll if Phil's going to take a shit tomorrow or not.
I'm going to take the over on it.
Well, anyway,
if the poll was the other way around, you'd be unhappy, Phil. So.
No, I just had a feeling that maybe the poll was trying to get people to falsely support Trump. I don't think Trump's going to run. I don't think he's going to win, and I don't think he's going to, get the nomination.
We all believe what Phil says, don't we?
Yeah. Let me see.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of soon now. I mean,
your green screen's not working.
I know my green screen's. And look at now that one's
frozen again.
Yeah, I'm frozen again. That's amazing. I don't know what.
I think we should all give Trump some money, though. You know, he's
Russian money is cheap right now.
That's right.
Oh, you did.
Good idea.
Well, we can all join Mar-a-Lago. You think we can just pool our membership money together, the 250,000, and you take a week, you take a week. Jeff's going down. He said he's just going up above Fort Lauderdale.
Mm-hmm.
So that means Mar-a-Lago. So say hi to Donald for me.
Yeah.
The last time I was down here, my friend drove right by his house.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we all
didn't open fire. Imagine.
we all gave him the old, you know what.
Oh,
this
Alex,
time when you
start
drive
his
by,
open.
you can moon them. You can pull your pants down and show them.
Hey, if you pulled your pants down, Alan, it would be another planet that they would think was flying by.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay.
Alan's tush is bigger than Jupiter.
You're back.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Hold on a second.
It must suck when you're 50 pounds lighter than somebody to be picking on them when you weigh 100 pounds more than you should. And you're always.
Now I only weigh 20 pounds more than I should.
How much do you weigh now?
According to the.
I was 192 this morning.
There we go. There we go, folks. Ta-da.
$14 scale, though.
Yeah, my.
Were your shoes on? Or no, you have to.
No, it was after I took a crap with nothing on.
That's the best time to weigh yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, what have we been talking about here? Him and his weight?
And the
People ask me what Phil looks like thin, and I say fat.
When I was.
Do you know how tired we are of hearing about your diet?
He's fasting now.
No, I have no
I
idea.
called him up in the afternoon. He was eating at 2 o'clock. I was like, that sounded like a meatball hero, Phil. You were really scoffing that pretty good. I was like, you must be.
Well, that's what they used to call him at the police department, a meatball hero.
Yeah.
I only eat after 11. Really?
During a 6-hour time period.
When he was a rent-a-cop, he had a potbelly pig, and they couldn't figure out which one weighed more.
Actually, I had a 34-inch waist.
Wow. 62?
It looks like Kevin is saying to himself, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh, yeah. Funny to tell you.
Let's talk about something interesting.
Yeah. What else is there out there that's interesting to talk about?
I had something
Anybody
funny.
know what these emojis stand for?
Oh, Jesus. We got to that again.
I still think the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl.
You think they're going to get there, Charlie?
Yeah.
I'm worried, boy. I think Philly's offensive line is. Look, they got 3 All-Pros there.
Who do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be the 49ers and who?
The Bengals.
The Bengals?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll make Josh really happy.
Do your fearless forecast. Oh, I had something funny to tell you, Alex. That happened to me.
Oh, really? Well, that's a first for us.
Yeah, really.
I went to my regular doctor, the MD, right? Because he's just got to see me for a regular checkup.
What's the other one? Do voodoo?
Right. So listen to this. He goes like this. He did my blood pressure. Oh, everything's perfect. Heart's perfect. He says, you look great. I says, Doc, I just had 6 weeks of radiation.
Glow in the dark.
Well, that's what the glowing complexion is about.
You look good, Tony. I was all right. I said, really?
You ever hear?
Now, does he get the information? Hold on a second, Phil. Does he get the information from your other doctor since he's your
he got
primary?
everything. I asked him that they forward everything over to him, so he had it. He said, "Yeah, you got nothing to worry about." He's all right.
Did he call you by your correct name?
Me and all. He said, "Oh, you look good."
Yeah.
How's everything?
Where did he go to medical school?
Mom is still gone. I said,
You ever see those guys? They go to the doctor gives them a clean bill of health, and the next day they have a heart attack and die.
I think he's putting a kibosh on me. I'm very superstitious now, like my mother was. You're right. When they do that, I believe, you're right. Next thing you're going to get hit by a car when you leave.
He probably never even looked at your file.
No, he was doing, my blood pressure was perfect, my heart, everything he was doing. He said, low-grade cancer, you'll be all right.
He looked
Called
at your
you
heart.
Oscar.
He did the EKG and stuff and was making me breathe. He said, he's like, you work out? I says, a little bit. I says, I just went back to the gym. Good, keep it up. I went about a month. I mean, really, let me just go home. I said, how do
don't start talking about.
I like it. I like when the doctor. I went to a doctor, and the thing is that every doctor has maybe 2,000 patients.
Oh, he was busy, Alex. I had to wait 40 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, 2,000. Well, it wasn't. They've seen the other 2,000 patients, but how long? You make an appointment. How long does it take to see him? My urologist took me about 3 weeks to see him. Okay, so they got like about 3,000 people. So when you walk in the door, it's surprising that he knows you, and I think he doesn't. I think he looks at his thing. At his chart, and it even has like my wife's name there and so on. So, how's Marjorie?
Oh, shit, you know, I didn't think that.
How's Marjorie? You know. No, I went to one doctor, and he started looking at and repeating all the wrong stuff back to me.
Oh shit, that's not good.
No, I mean, I realized that he
had the wrong person,
the wrong folder. Yeah.
You go to see him once a year. What's going to happen? You know, he's not going to remember you. Marjorie thinks every doctor she has actually remembers her. I don't think so. I think she's deluding herself.
You're right. They see so many people.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't blame him. If I go to my urologist, and he's very nice, and I like him a lot, he probably remembers me only because, you know, I had to go have all this stuff done on my prostate. So he'll probably remember somebody like that more than he'll remember somebody that comes in and, you know, just sees him once a year so he can stick his finger up their ass. You know.
I got to tell you one thing, though, Alex. My urologist, Dr. Ritchie, he actually called my cell phone and asked me how I was doing when I was getting radiation. He actually was really on top of me because he works with the oncologist. They're like friends.
Also, he has a note. He has a note there on his computer that says,
I cried in his office. Yeah.
Call Mr. Tony. Call Tony to see if he's okay. You know, and so then he calls you.
You might be right. Yeah.
I mean, like today, Marjorie. You know, Marjorie gets a lot of stuff done, and today she had the most ridiculous thing done. She had her nose reamed out or something.
What is that?
Well, her nose drips a lot.
Oh, okay.
So she went to a doctor and said, well, we can do a little procedure and go in there and do some scraping and things like that. And she said it was very painful. She went in there and she did it. And I'm going, you know, why'd you do that? Just let your nose drip. What the hell? Do you care? You know?
Yeah.
My nose drips. I don't care. But she went to it. And then he called and said, how's your nose doing later on in the day? You know? Really what he was saying was, you're not going to sue me, are you? You know, I mean, your nose is okay, right? It's not going to be something that you're going to sue me about, right?
Oh, God. I think I get good memory from my doctors because they invested in so much for me.
Yeah, but, you know.
I think they actually had like a gambling thing. Like, okay, we got Stein tomorrow. And I'll give you a 2-for-1 that he survives.
Stein pool.
Yeah. But, you know, so I don't think doctors necessarily remember you that much.
I don't know. I went to my old doctor for 32 years.
Well, that's different. That's different, you know. But I've got a what do you call? You know what happened with our doctor, our general GP, who's also a cardiologist as well, which I kind of like because he checks out my heart a lot. You know, make sure it's okay. You know.
Do you have one?
What?
Heart.
Anyway, so he's a cardiologist, and we've been going to him for a long time. So I think he knows me when I come in, you know. But I don't think he would know my name unless he had to look at the thing.
You know why Tony had to wait 40 minutes?
Can I finish my story?
Oh, all right.
So what else is new?
Yeah. Phil doesn't listen to the rest of the discussion. There are other people talking here, Phil. I want you to realize that.
It sounded like you were done.
No, it wasn't Bennett. But now I forgot what I was going to say, so go ahead. You obviously had something far
The
more
doctor
important.
You said knows you.
Yeah, he knows me, and but I
And you
think,
said it, but he may not know your name.
but he may not know my name. You know, it's not the same as Marjorie's, who's been seeing him longer. But Marjorie likes to think all these doctors, absolutely, you know, they go home at night and think, I wonder how Marjorie's doing. You know, and I'm sorry, it's not that way. I know
saw
what
her yesterday, and she was looking great.
Yeah, how was I looking?
Yeah, you're about the same.
Anyway.
Just like us.
I'll tell you, everybody that sees me lately says I look healthy.
You do.
You know?
You do.
And in fact, I was talking to it'll be on tomorrow night, an interview with Will Durst. And the first thing he said, boy, you're looking terrific. But that's from a guy who had a stroke. Okay. So I don't know, compared to what, Will, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Where you comparing me to?
So much for my stroke jokes. But anyway, the thing is that my doctor started this thing a few years ago. He invited us all to a gathering.
Really?
And there were like 1,000 people there. And what was it? He was trying to sell us a concierge plan.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm talking about, Jeff?
Yeah, a couple grand a year, you pay up front, and you get priority visits and stuff.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm sorry. When I had a doctor, I always got a priority visit. If I said I was really sick, he wouldn't say, wait 3 weeks.
I thought he was inviting you to lunch or something.
That was the guy that still uses leeches?
He uses leeches, yeah. No, but I mean,
I remember my first doctor would come to my house, to his house. And sometimes he would even come to my house.
Yeah.
If I was sick.
If I was sick, you could call, a doctor would make a house call. They all had these little bags. Remember the little bags? I don't think they own them anymore.
You know what else they had in New York? MD license plates, so they could double park.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and not get towed.
I don't think they have them anymore because they're not making house calls. Yeah. They don't need that kind of.
They don't even have cars.
Yeah. But they still need the MD license plates. I mean, it's.
They don't have them. There aren't any in New York.
Really?
No.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
No. I think it's because they figured, hey, they're not making house calls anymore. What do they need the MD license plates for?
To double park.
But I've never heard of it. The only doctor I've had in recent years who made house calls was a
foreigner,
a foot doctor, an orthopedic doctor, and she made only house calls because she said all her patients were older because you really don't get foot problems till you're older. And she felt that if she made house calls, number one, she'd save on having an office, and that everybody she went to see would appreciate it and wouldn't want to come and see her. You know, so that was the. But most doctors today don't make house calls at all. You know, and if you have the concierge service, he will make a house call.
What did he want for his service to sign up?
It's about $2,500 a year, and I'm going.
He'd lose money on me.
And
what'd you say, Charlie?
He'd lose money on me. I have so many problems. He'd lose money at that rate on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Charlie said he took 16 pills.
14. Yeah, 14 pills every day.
With my supplements, which don't really count.
Well, they don't count. They
19.
don't count.
19
really?
What supplements?
No, but forget the supplements.
Well, I don't know which
because
ones
to begin with, I will
put some.
Those are optional.
I will question.
I only take one supplement.
I will question the use of supplements.
I got zinc.
I'll tell you why.
I got D.
I
got
forget it. A doctor I once talked to said all that really gives you is very expensive pee.
Yep.
Yeah, I got turmeric. I got CoQ10.
You don't need any of that.
I haven't gotten COVID either.
You never got it.
I never got it.
I've never had it yet.
Yeah.
Neither have I.
I had it, but I didn't have it in any serious way. Marjorie came down with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, we got a minor version of it for a very simple reason that we, you know.
Is that the Paxlovid? Is
The
why you got it?
Paxlovid was what they gave us, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, if you have if you're up to date on your shots, I get to think I'm like a pet I had who had all his shots. You know, and I go, yeah, I've got all my shots. Yeah, and I got distemper. The last one I got was distemper.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I think that it's you know, for a doctor to have a concierge service. I mean, what am I going in for? What am I made him my primary doctor for? But to be there for me when I need him.
Well,
you know.
You know, they get so little money after Medicare chisels down their bill. Let's say they send a bill for $500. Medicare pays $8.72.
No, not
So
that's
that's
not
what
like
they
that.
need 3,000
It's
patients.
not like that, but it's lower than they overprice so they can at least get Medicare to give them a certain amount of money. But the fact is that Medicare is only saying here's what that procedure is worth. You know,
Well, it's what they're willing to pay.
no, it's what they
I
feel
wonder-
the procedure is worth, Phil.
Yeah. Tony, did you get a bill yet to find out what your treatments were?
I had one inside. Let me see.
Don't go get it. Jeez, almighty.
You can't
Thanks,
remember.
Phil. Thanks a lot.
Oh, there you go.
Why don't you let Phil do his own show?
Alex, this one here, Alex, this was just for the radiation treatments. Do you know every
Wait,
treatment?
hold on a second.
$5.
Wait.
The radiation total before insurance took care of it and everything was about
Totally want to know?
60,000.
Just for the radiation treatments here, the total was $17,879.43.
Really? Mine was 60,000.
Well, I still have to. That's not counting the other part that they billed me for already. Where they had to put the spacer in.
Mm-hmm.
That was quite. Yeah, I had to have at least 40, 50 grand. I got more bills inside.
Yeah, but
saved.
you
How
haven't.
much was your tattoo, Tony?
It faded a little bit. I would show you, but I don't want to be obscene on the show.
Think
It'll
about
look like
this.
Phil's hairline, no problem.
Think about this. Tony got 30 treatments for 17 grand. Alex paid 60 grand for 5
What-
treatments. So
28
who got the
treatments.
better deal?
I think I'm trying to remember how much total with seeds and everything came to about $100,000.
Did that include your concierge
But
service?
that was what he billed, what they billed. That isn't what they got.
80 cents.
No, they got about $20,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, Medicare wouldn't be so screwed up if it wasn't for the Republicans constantly sticking their finger in the jar.
What do you do? Wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to be a jerk?
Only when you're on the show.
No, you're a jerk other nights too.
No, well, I mean, you know, the Republicans would like to do away with Social Security. They would like to do away with Medicare.
Yep.
That's what Schumer is saying, but I guess there's an independent named King, and there's a Republican that are saying they should look into it because with the new budget that they're trying to pass, they want to look at all of these costs that are getting out of control.
Phil,
looking at it
the government owes me
Yeah.
Social Security because I paid into it all
Yes,
those
they
years.
owe you Social Security, but at what rate? At what rate?
I think that whatever rate is you know, there's a purpose behind Social Security. Yeah.
I'm sure you paid at the highest percentage rate.
I paid at a very high rate. Yeah. I mean, every year I paid off my Social Security, but I mean, I just don't know why they're so mean that they don't want old people to get money to take care of themselves. Shut up, Phil. Let me finish, okay? That they get so upset with the fact that old people might get some money to live on, you know, and that they might actually have a medical plan that would take care of their medical needs because when you get old, that's when you need it.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
You know, how can you be so cruel
Please.
as to not want to do that for people?
They're talking about raising the cap. not necessarily cutting the benefit.
No, they're talking about trying to lower the amount.
But they're also saying
no, the cap. There shouldn't even be a cap on Social Security.
Right. No,
you should
keep putting.
The reason there's a cap is that you have a certain amount. The cap right now is somewhere around $10,000. After you paid $10,000 into Social Security, or paid it on $10,000 of your.
It's 150.
Yeah, it's 150,000
that you pay on an income. I believe.
No, but it's a $10,000 cap in the amount of money that that is going to be paid back. The point is that when you get to a certain point, when you get to the cap, you don't have to pay any more taxes the rest of the year. When I was making a crap load of money in San Francisco, by March, I had paid off all my Social Security. Okay. Well, if they do away with that, that'll take care of it all.
Well, between the employer and the employee, they pay 15%.
Yep.
Of the up to a certain amount of earnings. I forgot what it is. I think it's going to be 157,000.
It goes up every year. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be 15%. 7.5 employee, 7.5 employer, or self-employment tax is 15%.
I think it ought to be higher for the employer.
I think employers should pay the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. They're the people that are getting the benefits out of this whole society. They should have to pay their way on it and take care of the people around them.
People that work for the employer that just come in, work, and go home and don't have headaches and worry.
Yeah, but they have sweat equity.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're the ones that if they're not there, the guy doesn't have a business.
Yeah.
And if the business wasn't there, those guys don't have a job.
They'd find another one somewhere else.
You know, they're getting laid off from Goldman Sachs. They're getting laid off from Twitter. They're getting laid off from Google, Meta, and Microsoft.
It's Meta,
and it's just, and this is only the beginning. They think they're going to have a job. They're not,
because the Republicans are pushing us into a recession.
Well, screw them. We should have a tax on any business that lets people go.
They want. Well, that's what they have in Europe, and so you know what they do? They don't hire anybody. If in
how
France,
do you have a business if you don't hire people for
in
it?
France and Italy, if you hire someone, you can't let them go. You can't fire them.
Well, I think that quite frankly, I think it's terrible that people like Google and Amazon are firing people when they really should be firing the people at the very top.
Yeah, those guys are getting fired.
Because the people at the bottom are the people who've just been going in every day and keeping this thing happening.
So you have a problem with Elon Musk getting rid of people that don't want to show up? And
no, we haven't heard about. Has Elon Musk let any people go?
Oh yeah, he's down to 2,500 people.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then he should have to pay for that.
Yeah.
He should have to pay for it.
They're even selling the...
And the reason he should have to pay for it is because the government's then going to have to pay unemployment on that.
The unemployment insurance is paid by the employer.
Yeah.
Not 100%.
100%.
No, I think you in your check
right now it's like
in your withholding there's something for unemployment.
Well, there's some SSI or Medicare and some other stuff, but they're very small percentage. But the unemployment runs around 6%, and in some cases more. For me, it's always the maximum. I don't know why, but
every job I've had, the employer paid all of the unemployment.
Yeah, but it's only on a small amount. I think it's up to $7,000 in income or something like that. It's not, like Alex was saying with the Social Security, there's a cap, and the cap on unemployment is pretty low.
Yeah. Anyway, and unemployment you don't get much anyway. You get it maybe.
You get like $200 a week here.
I got $400 a week for 16 weeks after working somewhere for 10 years.
But the COVID times, people were getting thousands of dollars.
He was giving them 600.
Yeah, because that was special.
Yeah, and they were getting it for many, many months.
Yeah,
and that's one of the reasons nobody wants to work.
A year.
That's terrible. God forbid the government should take care of us.
Businesses were also getting money, so.
You're on your own.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, there's
I know one that got 60,000 here.
Yeah,
and he isn't complaining.
calls.
He isn't complaining about that payout.
For
Anyway,
employees.
we gotta go. We've run out of time.
Oh,
That means shut up, Phil.
I had such a good time.
I know nobody else did, but you did. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I want to say goodbye to to Phil, and I want to say goodbye to Kevin, and I want to say thank Charlie. Thank you so much. Also, Tony, good luck with that cancer. And Jeff, good having lunch with you yesterday. And Alan, thank you for being here. Everybody wave goodbye, and I'll wave goodbye at you. Okay, there they go, folks. That's our citizen panel. Some of them are going to head over to be with Jack Bishop next over most of the same GabNet. Jack will be doing his program and taking your calls on Skype at GabNet Live. Okay, I'll see you again tomorrow. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her. Okay, good night, everybody.